Hello everyone, Key of W here with the Artisan of Glimmith again. It's time for me to get serious about finishing this game up. Let's see, what do I want to do today? Do I want to jump right into the worst area of the game? I think I will. I will do maybe one of these puzzles. That's what I will do today. I will do a match puzzle. If you're new to this, you don't know yet, but I hate these puzzles. I don't think they're very good, but I want to get them finished so that they're out of my way. So I know for sure I'm going to have a red and a blue. I'm going to have two regions and only two, and they've got to be exactly opposite. So yeah, looking at this, you just go, where am I supposed to start? What's the idea here? Where's the mark of dividing it in half? This is tricky here. Hmm. What is the size of this right here? That's 14. This is probably more than 14. That's 17. So it's not as simple as dividing in half down there. How far is it? It's 9 across. And it's 9 across. So it's not something like that, because that is not going to work. It's just, you just get this big space, and it's like, I'm just going to be brute forcing my way through it. It's really not going to be pleasant. So, thanks for watching. Dimension-wise, this is 6. This right here would be 8 across, so it's not, that can't also be divided that way. If I bring something around this way, right? Well, if I ever have this, I have to do one with the other color with the same idea. But I don't think this is... How would I make this happen? Because now we got a circle on the ring. This ring would be the equivalent of where the circle symbol would be somewhere. And it would probably be a similar spot. Trouble is, if we were to map, see this spot here, if we were to map it either here or there, that means that we have either an exact transposition over here, or a transposition plus a flip horizontal. Either way, this is now the top of the thing. So we got to bring that all the way over. So I don't think that's true. I think that's how you do it. Again, maybe I am uniquely stupid, but I do not think that most people are capable of envisioning large, complex shapes and rotating them in their mind. I don't think that's a normal skill. The game would be bad if it was to assume you could do that or try to make you do that without help. Like Tetrominoes, like if the game's like, hey, figure out how you can fit a T shape in, that most people, if they don't know how initially, can be taught that through a lot of Tetromino puzzles. I cannot be taught to do like this type of thing and figure out where to stick that. That is not something that I don't think anyone is capable of doing naturally, and the game has no interest in teaching you how to do this. So if the game is like, figure out how to do that, that's really fucking annoying, because I don't see a logical step. I just know that it can't be that. But if I say where this circle is around here corresponded to one of these two places, we'd be in trouble again. Because now we can't move some direction from here. Now it's possible if we rotate it up to there, but then we flip it so the wall is, this wall is that one. In which case, we would need a wall. We would never go beyond this zone, which I don't think can do it. Like, even just the eye test tells me you couldn't fill in all of these spaces and then get something that works. Like, it's just not going to be the case. We've got 47 to 45. We'd have to find maybe a spot like this isn't going to be it. Like, you can see that this isn't it. Okay, let's just get rid of all of this. How we're going to do it. figure that out. So I don't think it's a ring around, but I'm not sure. I just am not sure. There's just not enough information on that. If this came around, I think it would have to be like this. Now, I imagine if I took like red in, I would then bring it here maybe. This is an inversion of that, right? This spot equal to, oh no, this isn't an inversion of that. This would be an exact copy of it. Now the trouble is, how do I get this to go? Because if this goes all the way across, there's no way this translates to the red. It would have to stop at least here. But then red would need to take those spots and there's no equivalent. So it would need to not be an exact thing. So if I came through there, if I did it this way, this would not be equivalent. I don't think those are equivalent. Yeah. They've got the same amount of spaces, but they're not the same. Like you can imagine this as a set of 3 and then an elbow, right? Well, the only set of 3 is here. That's not where they're connected. So this isn't, if this is in any way right, then I would need to find another place to do this exact same trick. Which potentially, but this is the same bit. We can't have that here. So I don't think that's it either. This is really frustrating. It'd be easier if we knew that these two cells I've chosen have to also map onto each other. For instance, like this here is the same shape, but these don't map onto the same location. This is on the end of the 3x3, the end of the L. This is in the middle of it, right? But according to Match, that's fine. So knowing that means we have a lot more options for these, which is harder to narrow things down with. If I were to say this again, then I would need a ring around here. But where would I map it onto? Perhaps, like if I mapped this there, and then said this was the wall, that would mean I couldn't go any further than that. Right? That's where that goes. So over here is down here for red. So so this spot would be, you take this, move left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just not enough space. Unless we do it where this is the spot. And now we do the same trick. The wall is here, meaning this is that wall. So we've taken this and we've not transposed it over. We transposed and rotated rather than flipped, which means this is the wall, this is the wall. And lest you think this looks like a logical progression of how to solve the puzzle, this is also called a guess. We're just guessing. This guess could be right, could be wrong. We're going to guess until it's correct, which will not make me feel like I solved the puzzle. Solving means I have to know what I'm doing ahead of time, and I don't know what I'm doing ahead of time. So if this is the wall, it's going to force, there's no way to put blue anywhere beyond this plane, so this plane here cannot have any red to the left of it. That won't be allowed if we were to do this. So this would all have to be blue, which means that we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're in trouble because we can't bring that any further down. Is there any other way to imagine that? Also, we'd go this way. It's also way, way too long here. So I don't think that works either. But it's hard to tell because, again, it's large, complicated shapes. So when I do this type of stuff and it doesn't look like it works to me, it could work because the game is going like, well, just figure it out, asshole. So what if we're making you do large, complicated shapes? You're a big boy. That's what they're trying to say, and I don't think that's good game design. I think if you're going to make that kind of stuff happen, you have to train it, because it's not, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, an innate quality people have. It's similar to me to the Islands of Insight music puzzles. If you happen to know the music, then it's fine. But if you don't, the game doesn't teach you, and so it's telling you figure it out, asshole. It's really bad design to do that. If I were to map this on somewhere else, I can't map it here. If I do this and then flip and then rotate, I don't know. It's too much stuff to flip and rotate, all that kind of stuff. I should also consider that I can't go the other side. Again, if I put myself here, if I do that by transposition and full rotation around, that means this wall is here. And I would put walls there instead of there. Right? I would just have something here, but I could bring it out like that. Now the challenge here is I could never bring red below this line, because that's that line. Get rid of the walls here. Don't know about those. How do I get rid of the wall? Thank you. This wall method's a little... Like, I want a way to sometimes just get rid of a wall without getting rid of the color I have here. And it's difficult to do. Like, I can reach it that way, but the wall mode even, like, I can't just... I want to right-click and then just do this and get rid of the walls, but it's not that easy. Minor problem, but when I'm dealing with a puzzle that's as stupid as this, every minor problem becomes a major one to me. If I map this here, like a bring up and a rotation, well, I know that this would cause that, right? But which one is which? Rotation means this spot here corresponds there, which means I could never bring to the right of that. This is just not going to happen. Because then this spot is here, which would also be, the blue would be there, because we can't put red, that would be where that is. Just seems like that doesn't work. So like, what I can get from that, I'm just not able to conclusively rule it out. Like, it's just a little bit too complicated, and whatever rules there are about this have not been adequately explained. Like, again, this, we have enough puzzles with tetrominoes, we've been able to deduce certain rules. We have enough pentominoes puzzles. Beyond that, we haven't really had a lot with 6 or higher. Those puzzles usually just are like some other method of solving. So if the game is telling me to figure out a shape, I think that the game is stupid for asking that. It shouldn't do that. It should give me something I can work with logically. But these 3 things are important. How would I go about... Is there a way to, like... Better red. Do something like this. And then the other side is like this. It would have to be this way. This is an exact, like if I do this here. Oh, these aren't the same shape? This, here, 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 here. This is the same shape. There's no rose window in it, but that's the same shape. But now, I would have to put something here. So the red would have to come down through here, which is up that way. I can't do that. And also, what the hell goes in there? Is there a way to do it? Not like something like this. That would be possible. But we'd have to stop here. Which means this would go up. This would go down. That's fine. But now, if I put blue in this area, like if I were to move blue anywhere up here, this would have to be a blue cell, which would mean that would be a red cell. So I know that all of these would be red. So let me go one by one, because this is far too complicated to do any other way. This has to be red, that's blue. Now this has to be blue. Blue, we're in trouble. I can't bring it over. I can't put a blue cell here because it corresponds to there. Is that right? No, I can put a blue cell there. Hold on. I can put a blue cell. Because all it means is the red cell won't go. Yeah, the blue cell can't go there, so the red cell can't. Okay, I got that backwards. If the red cell went here, then a blue cell would have to go there. So this does have to be blue. I do have to put blue up here somewhere. Fucking hell. So where can I not put red cells here? I can put a red cell here just fine. That corresponds there. In fact, if I go... Oops, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. I can go all the way to here with red. So that's got to be a blue cell. But now I got to figure out what the equivalent of this is. Because this space is here. So this space would be like way the hell over here. Is that right? Well, okay, so I'm gonna have to block off in this row here. Can't go anywhere there, and then here as well. But it could move there, right? Again, I'm guessing brute forcing. I'm not solving this realistically. Like these could be here, these could be here. Like, this is all possible, but now whatever I do, I can't bring red down. It's kind of stuck. Is there any way to re-envision this? So going back to here, is there a way to maybe... It won't be that. It won't be this. Like this would be just a simple transposition because then what goes here? What's the other way? Let's see. This can't. If I do it like a U around it, right? It can't be this way. Could it be like this, maybe? It's not going to be like this, because then what goes here? Right. If I do like a... This is trouble, because nothing goes below that red then. If I go... here... Then what corresponds to this? Would it have to be like this? No. No, this doesn't work either. It would have to be some other way of getting it in there. It would just be a nightmare. Yeah, really unpleasant puzzle to deal with. I can't just have a corner piece. I don't know how to do this. Let's see, are these the same? These are the same shape. What if I start here? That would mean this. If I started with this, how's that? This is terrible. This space here would have to be blue because it doesn't fit with the red, right? Or sorry, this would be red. Doesn't fit with blue. Excuse me, other way around. Blue doesn't fit there. Who goes here? It would have to be red. which means the blue has to go. It can't work. Blue would have to go there. So I can't do something like start with the edge. If I start with the edge, problem with this is where does it relate to here? This is even again, but now this space is the equivalent of the same thing with both pieces. Oh my god. We're going to be here all day and solve one puzzle, and it's not even going to be a fun one. Good grief. What if? Yeah, if you follow this series at all, you've seen how I solve the other puzzles. You see how I can, like, work out, we must do this or we must not do that. And sometimes I get it wrong and I have to go back and reassess the logic, and that's fine. It does mean I solve them faster, so it's not about, oh, I don't like puzzles that take forever. If it's going to take forever, I should be further along. It's 20 minutes in. I should not be looking at this screen after 20 minutes of a puzzle. Bad, bad design. Do we just quit? Do we just cheat? Yeah, I know everything entered so far is correct. I just press the button. This will absolutely rob the experience of solving the puzzle. That's what this does. It will absolutely rob the experience. I might as well not do the puzzle if I start doing this kind of stuff. But at the same time, do I want to sit here with an unsolved puzzle in here that I never will solve? I think I've just decided I don't think that whoever designed this puzzle is worthy of my respect to solve their puzzle. I think this person should be ignored, and I should do what I want. I shouldn't. I feel like I will never receive joy from this, and the person who made this puzzle, if they're watching this video, should never experience joy from other people solving the puzzle. Like, that's how angry I am about this kind of stuff. Like, why would... This is not the game for this. This is not how you design puzzles. Because I can decide if I do this... Yes, we know we don't have a ring in there now, which is something I thought but couldn't prove. Which means I probably can't even do something like this if I make rings around the hoops. Right? Don't reveal my mistake. I just want to see that there is one. Okay, so we do have a ring. Or not a ring. We do have a hoop like this around the ring. So that much... I don't see how it could have been any other way. I don't know how I was supposed to figure this out. Unless there was some other area I was supposed to look. But again, if you design this puzzle and you're like, but there's such a clear logical break-in, I think that you're deluded. There is not a clear logical break-in here. There is guess until you get it. So the amount of joy I received from having the game tell me this was the solution is greater than the joy I would have received from coming to this myself. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to brute force over here. Okay, so the trouble I was having with this, the reason why this looks wrong, is because now I don't know what to do here. If this is correct. Because now I can't put any red up here, right? I can. How the fuck do I put red up there? These don't correspond to each other, what they correspond to. I know I can't do this. So I have to put blue here. I can't do this because then there's nowhere to put a ring shape. So I've got to have these. Oh, dear Lord. I still don't see, even though the game is like, okay, I'm sort of guiding you along. Sometimes, you know, maybe you're the type of player that you can't see the first move, but if you let the game give you the first move, then maybe you can solve the rest of the puzzle on your own. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. How's that? That's a mistake. I knew that was a mistake. I didn't know that was a mistake. I just thought, what if I did this? Do we have now a spiraling thing? Or like a zigzaggy shape? Like, we got to bring that all the way down. We got to bring that all the way down. So where do we find it here? Do we find that there? So we've got some kind of thing. Can't bring... Oh no, this isn't right. This isn't right. It's just guesswork. It's just guesswork. It's no fun. What is this? Like, what would this be in relation to? That can't be right. What is this in relation to? That would be this here. These are the same right? So now I've got to do some kind of like... If I brought this... Can I bring this over? Like, how was I supposed to get to this conclusion? If you were watching me solve for the last 25 minutes, I want you, if you're thinking, what a fucking loser for not solving this puzzle. If you are in any way thinking that, I want you to go back, search your mind when you were watching this video. Did you come to this conclusion while you were watching me solve this puzzle in the amount of time? Not pausing the video to look it up. Did you come to this exact conclusion? Because if no, don't give me shit about me not solving this puzzle correctly. This is bullshit. Everything entered so far is correct. Then, is that all correct? Yeah, that means that's all correct. We don't have to deal with that. I've got to come up with another one of these. Is that correct? No. Does this go all the way across? Yes, if this goes all the way across, can I bring this down? This can't be right. Because now what do I put there? Blue can't go in here, I don't think. So this is all red? No. I think this is fine. Yeah. I think that's fine as well. Nope, that's not it. That means it's got to be blue here. I think this is right. I don't know how, I still don't know how this functions. I just don't get it. It's just not very smart. That means that's got to be it. Wait, hold on. So far is correct. We can't do that. And this is blue? What? Then this is wrong. So that's the blue. What? Then this is all part of the one. They're the same ring. We have... Is it a pattern? Then it would have to be these. No. Then this is fine. This is correct. So I think it's going to be this. This is terrible. So like, how would you arrive at this conclusion? How would you arrive here? Without any brute forcing or guessing. And I count as guessing anytime you input something without knowing what it's going to do. Right? If I, at any point in a puzzle, go, I don't know if this is correct. What happens if I put this in and then work the puzzle out and find if it's right? That's a guess. At all times, I need to know either I'm attempting to break the puzzle by putting this here, by demonstrating it doesn't work, or I know this is correct. Not a single moment can you do that. This is a guess puzzle. I think that these are guess puzzles. The game says you don't have to guess. The game is lying to you. You have to guess for these puzzles. All right, I want to do a good puzzle in this video. Get the taste out of this shit out of my mouth. Like, I'm so... one of the reasons I'm so angry at this is the rest of this game is really, really good. The rest of this game is maybe even great. And it's clear that the designers of the rest of the game know what they're doing. And if somebody who worked on the rest of the game worked on this, this should have been cut out. This, just put scissors right here, cut this all out of the game, and you would have had an excellent game. There's some frustrating puzzles in here for sure, but they're frustrating, not bad. Most of them. This is terrible design, and the fact that nobody at the company or none of the testers were willing to say so really shows a disturbing lack of understanding from these designers that this would be included. This doesn't belong in the game. You don't solve puzzles in this way the way you solve any of the other puzzles in the game. Completely different method of solving. You have to guess. Unless, again, maybe I am uniquely stupid. Maybe my brain is bad and I just can't do this because I'm too stupid to solve it. But you can't solve these with logic. You can't solve them. You have to guess and hope that you're right. That is the only way to solve these. And I don't think any devs are watching. I'm not a big channel. I have maybe 2 viewers per video on average. That's fine. If you're one of those 2, thanks so much for watching this. It's probably as frustrating for you as it is for me to see this. But if a dev happens to be watching this video, I really need you to feel bad, and I need you to make an update where you just take scissors to this and this part of the game is removed. It's just, you need to make the game better, and this needs to not be in it. It's really that bad. All right, let me do a good puzzle. I need to get the taste of that shit out of my mouth. It's like I'm playing the Zelda series, and that section is the CDI games. It's really shitty. You should have known better than doing that. Let's put 4s in red, 5s in green, 6s in blue, and just area numbers. So all I got to worry about. So 5's got to escape. This 6 now has to escape into there. Not sure the exact means we're going to do it, but we do have to take that spot because we could just have a separate thing down here. We don't have to make everything part of an area. Why would I need to, why would I not just do this? I think, yeah, this is going to break the puzzle. So I don't think I think these 4s, I think I have to let the 5 out this way. Because I need this 5 to connect. I can't connect there because then that's the 6. Then I can connect here and then make this part of the 6. And then I can make some unique pieces here. There you go. That's an interesting puzzle. Yes, easier, but you see how I can go I know I have to do this, then I have to do that. That's called logic. Games should use more of that. Let's do another one right down here. All right, this is a gimme right here. This 3, that's done. In fact, that 3 is done as well. Now, this is an easier logic one, but it is the logical step. The 7 here has got to come out, but this has to be a different 7. Because it's on the border there, which means that we have at least 2 7s. That's a different 7, but I don't think there's 3 7s, is there? Well, okay, this has to be different than that 7. We know that much, because we can't be on the same side of a border, which means this has to be a different 7. Now, if this were not a 3rd region, if this were only a 2nd region, it can't be the purple one, because it can't be on both sides of a border. In order to get blue over there in 7 spaces, first of all, we can't go to that side. We have to go down this way, which is great for the 7, but not great for the blue, but not for the purple. So I think this has to be yet 3rd region, which means this 7 can't escape that way. So it probably can't go down here. Well, it can't go there because it's going to block stuff in. So how do I make 7 spaces? I'm going to have to escape. If I put a wall here, logically, if I put a wall here, I will not have enough space for this 7, because this 7 is now going to need to escape somewhere this way. So this has got to be filled with the blue, which means now these 2 4s have to be the same region. Before I thought, well, what if they aren't? What if they go? They'd have to be anyway, actually, because this 3. So let's pretend we could put a wall there. These 4s cannot be separated because now we have a 4 here that can't move to the right because it blocks that in, and it can't go all the way down, so it would be locked in. So these 2 4s are part of the same region. These are here. This means the 4 must at least take this spot. All right, 6-wise, all 4 of these have to be the same region. There's no way to make 2 separate regions here because whatever region touches this leaves an area of 3. Therefore, they all are there. This 6 is actually set. It could have started with this probably. 1, 2, 3. This 6 has to move at least 1 space to the left because we know the blue's coming up. Once again, we could have a separate region of 2 here. It's fine. Or we could bring this down. or make this go all the way across. All right, the 7 can't move that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could fill out the 7 up here entirely. This 7 now must touch that square. This 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. This 7 has at its disposal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares. The maximum amount of squares. Oh, hold on. Let's look at the blue because I've not blocked it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this 7 is actually forced to take every square. This 7 is now forced to take. I probably should have started there. Then we do, in fact, have to do all of this. And now we're going to have a couple of solo joints. That's a good puzzle as well. Yes, I know when I'm saying the good puzzles are the easier ones, it's not because I think every puzzle should be easy. It's just that I should do what I did. I didn't have to see the entire answer. I didn't have to put a thing in saying, I don't know if this is right. Let's just see if this does something. Right? I could do it step by step. Now, making puzzles that are logical, that can actually be solved with step-by-step logic, will necessarily make them easier than puzzles that are guessing. Doesn't mean they're easy, it just means they'll be easier than a puzzle that would require guessing. But I think game designers have to get over their fucking egos about making games hard. If your game is easier, it's not worse. Your game is harder, it's not better. Congratulations on making a hard puzzle over here. Everybody thinks you're so impressive. All right. I think we got our weekly quota of anger out on this video. So I'm going to end it here, and the next video I will not finish this section off. Although, to be frank, this actually looks like a puzzle that might be worth solving. Just looking at it, because of how much stuff there is to look at. If there was just like, let's say these 2 rose windows, that would make me want to rage, destroy my own computer, and then the computer of whoever designed this. But the fact that there's all these circles in here means maybe we have somewhere we could start. Maybe there's some logical inference we could make in here. But we'll see on another video when I feel like making myself angry again. In the meantime, I think we've almost finished all the worst puzzles in the game. We can get on to good stuff. Thanks so much for watching. This was certainly a test of your patience as much as mine. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.